This is my February update on my orchids, and we're getting longer days now, and we're getting some sun, a bit more sun than before, and I think my orchids can feel it. They feel that spring is coming and it's time to wake up. So some of my new affinities started to wake up and started to grow some new roots. See, that pink root appeared there, and here's some new roots on my kyokushu. That's very exciting. Not all of them completely woke up yet, but I can see them starting. And one of the biggest events that I encountered is the spike on this plant here. See, there's the spike growing. I don't know how to show it good, but it's there. So this plant is my Orchid who arrived rotted through the stem. It was a large plant with a keiki on it, with large keiki, but it was rotted through the stem. So I had to cut the part with most roots off. So I just got two pieces with no roots, and see, there are just a few roots there that were grown by me, and now I got a spike, which is really exciting. So I'm so looking forward to see the blooms on this Orchid holitiana. And here's my Orchid lawrenceana, which is huge and has lots of roots. But there is no spike yet, so I'm hoping to see the spike on this one too. This one, my Salageny lime bay, that just finished blooming. See, I just cut the spike. For some reason, I don't get too many blooms on this plant. I know Nina from Ninja Orchids can have like 9 blooms, one after another on this plant, but I only get 3 blooms, and then spike dries out. I don't know why. My plant is not very big. Maybe as it grows bigger, maybe it will hold blooms for more. But for now, I was happy to have 3 blooms. They were pretty nice. And this is my Dimorphorchis Rossii, and it is out of think because as it appears, it hates bright light. It was fine in a tank when there were my Catasetums. They were creating a shade, but when I removed Catasetums, I completely burnt this leaf. See, this was a nice long leaf, but it got purple, really purple in a tank, and then it got yellow and dried out. I'm pretty lucky that it didn't start rotting, it just dried. Otherwise it could have possibly the crown rot. But for now, this middle part is still alive. So I tried to put it in different locations, but everywhere the sun was reaching it, so I was afraid to actually burn it again. So I put it like this. It doesn't get any sun. There's light, but no sun. So we'll see how it works. It did produce me some green tips in the roots department, so it's I hope it will continue to grow me some more roots. Well, it's still alive, which is good. And we'll see how it goes. I give it everyday waterings for now because there's not much roots, so I need to make sure that it gets enough moisture and nutrition. And here I have my Catasetums that are trying to sleep. Although this is Barbatum cross gladiatorium, which doesn't want to sleep. See, it started new growth. So I started to water it a little bit, just to make moss a little bit damp, not like soggy wet, to support it a little bit so it doesn't get too wrinkled, the old bulb. The rest are still, there's no signs of life, and some of them didn't even drop the leaves yet. And this is Catasetum pileatum, jumbo green gold, which instead of sleeping decided to give me the second spike. See, there are 2 buds growing. They will be huge, and I don't know when it's gonna rest. So I don't know what, like, I didn't want to cut off the spike. I will let it flower, and then we'll see what it will do next. I think it's scheduled a bit messed up, maybe. I don't know why though. So that's Catasetum pileatum, jumbo green gold. It's gonna bloom. And this is my Stanhopeia cannata, which is huge. You see, that's the leaf, that's my hand, and that's the leaf, so it's like 3 times of my hand. And it started a new growth. Here you can see it, which is good. I bought this plant from Aquaflora last year. It produced me lots of fruits. It's doing pretty well. And yeah, its leaves are clean. Nice green clean leaves with no spottings or no nonsense. I like it. I like huge and healthy leaves on this one. Look how big they are. It's my favorite Stanhopeia. Although I've never seen it blooming yet. But I'm hoping for the blooms. Another interesting thing happening here is, look, this is Laelia anceps, and those 2 back bulbs, Rasketzal gave me last summer. She bought a big plant, and it was very big, she said, so she got off 2 back bulbs, and one of them produced new growth for her, and she sent it to me. But that was the new growth. But it kind of broke during the transit and shipping. And well, since the bulbs were still green and plump, I potted it into moss. And there, it produced me second new growth. And it's progressing very well, I think. So I might have a Laelia anceps plant soon. So that's the back bulb propagation for you. And another thing that's going on in Cattleyas, which I'm not sure, but I want to show. This is my Cattleya, or rather Rinculalia digbiana. And this is the newest bulb. And see, it's kind of fattening here. And I think there's something growing inside. And yeah, I have absolutely no experience with it, but do you think it might be a buds growing in? Because that would be really awesome. See, I'm keeping it in the sun, hoping it'll help. It's really healthy plant. And it was growing this bulb all through the winter. Now there's, I think there is something growing inside because I see a fattening. So I do hope there are buds growing. That would be really, really awesome. And yeah, my other Cattleyas are growing some new growth. That's sea breeze. And there are 2 little growths on my, what's its name? Leopoldii, Cattleya leopoldii. And also there is a new growth growing on my white bridal. So they're doing pretty well, I think, Cattleyas. I don't know if they will ever bloom, but they're alive and they're growing, which is good. Oh, and since I'm here, there are some buds on my Hoya Haskeliana. and there is a peduncle on Hoya australis. So I will probably have some Hoya blooms too soon. As I said, spring is coming and they can see it. Now this is my Vanda area, which is becoming quite a jungle. I have mostly Vandas here, also a couple mounts, actually 1 mount, no 2. And I also have some dendrobiums, winter resting dendrobiums here, because it's bright light and there's a room on the windowsills. I usually try to not crowd the windowsills, so the Vandas have all the light from the window. But for the winter, I put my resting dendrobiums here to experience cold windowsills. Now I keep checking on them, but I still don't see any knobbings, but maybe it is too early. And my anosmum, this is my anosmum, this is Parishii, that's Jenkinsea and aggregatum, and that is Laodiceae, and that is Aphyllum. So those didn't even lose the leaves. I don't know, can they still bloom with leaves on? I'm not sure, we'll see. Now I have my Stanhopea genesiana here. It's been having this problem with the leaves. I don't know if it's a problem or what. See, that's kind of like variegation, which I don't know what it is. I sent message to Aquagenera, where I bought it from, and they said that it might be either not enough nutrients or too much light. So it's getting regular fertilizing, same as my Vandas and everything. So it shouldn't be the lack of nutrients. So I put it here. It used to be in my orchid room where the other Stanhopea is, but I put it here far from the window so it doesn't get too much light. And I'll see if it will help to solve this problem. See, this is older leaf. It's starting to go, but this is newer leaf. And it seems like it's even starting with this variegation. See, that's the newest bulb that it's produced. I don't know what it is. If anybody has any idea, let me know. But yeah, it happens on older leaves. This one I cut because it became all brown. This one is just starting to brown. And this one is new. And they all have this pattern. So that's the Stanhopea genesiana, never bloomed yet. But I do have a spike in this area. And guess who's spiking? Of course, it's my Vanda Racheldiana, who is the most faithful bloomer for me. See, it blooms almost on each node. It blooms more than once per year. Last time it bloomed in March, first time, and then I think in summer, in June, later. And again, I think this spike now, it's February, it's probably gonna bloom in March. So it's kind of on a schedule, right on a schedule. The rest of the Vandas are just growing. They're huge. Look at this one. They're growing all winter. All winter they grow the leaves and roots, and I do keep fertilizing them because they're growing. And yeah, they don't bloom. This is Tessellata. It's like a tree now. And this one here is Vanda tricolor, which I'm growing from a very tiny seedling. I bought it as a tiny seedling like, I don't know, 7 years ago or 8 years ago. It is huge now. The leaf span is like 2-3 feet, but it never bloomed. So I'm hoping, because now they seem pretty strong plants, all of them. So I'm hoping maybe this year they will bloom. It's getting warmer and the sun is here. Like in the morning it goes into this window, and afternoon they get lots of sun from there. So that's why I chose this area for Vandas, because it's the sunniest place and it's convenient to water in the bathtub. And that's my Trichoglottis brachiata. It's growing well. It's actually taller than all the Vandas now. So this one is blooming every year. So I'm pretty sure I will get some blooms in the summer. So that's what's happening with my Vandas now. I'm really happy about this spike, but I'm hoping for some more as it's getting warmer and brighter. Now the things in my tank are doing really good too. The Catasetum opened the second flower. They're a bit squished because there are two of them. And the spike was pretty short, so I don't know why, but the blooms are huge. Look, the blooms are very big. I like the ratio of the bloom to the size of the plant. I like it. My Neophynetia seedlings are doing great. I didn't lose any yet, knock on wood. Pretty soon I'm gonna try to acclimatize them to outside world because it's too humid in here, I think. And yeah, they're better on the windowsills where the other Neos are. I'm keeping them here just first few weeks after deflasking, just so they don't get a shock from dry and cold air in the house. Well, it's not really cold. We keep about 21, 22 during the day and 18 during the night, but it's definitely drier than in a tank. And yeah, this is my, remember it bloomed right on New Year. So it's been 1.5 months and the flowers are still there. It's my Rhynchus stylus gigantea, apparently alba, which was supposed to be orange. Now the end of the spike damaged because that's because of me, because I was, as I am watering it, soaking it in water, that part always gets into water, so I guess it rotted a little bit, so I cut it off. But the rest of the flowers are still fine. And that's my Chrysis laevis, which is just getting ready to open. And look, it's white. So the Chrysis laevis should be orange, should have orange splashes on the flower. But I think I got the same issue as Gabrielle Carson. She bought it from the same vendor, and it was the same selfing of the plant, and it was alba or flava variety. So I guess they all will be coming out white, but we'll see. Maybe there will be some little markings. We'll see when it opens. And I also have some blooms on my pretty jewel orchid, and it's a Nectachylus roxburghii crossed with Ludicea and then back to Nectachylus. See, I have 3 little plants and 2 of them are blooming. They're really pretty blooms, but the leaves are even more pretty, I think. So that was my update, February update on my orchids. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.